Hello, good morning, Facebook. Welcome. My name is Athenia Rodney, and I am excited to have you here. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hi, Valerie. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. Hi, Adam. I see a couple of people are joining.
Good morning,
Hi, is
Athenia. How you
it
doing this morning?
Keisha? I am good. I'm good. I'm blessed. Thank you. See a lot. Hi, Cheryl. You made it. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, beloved. Grand Rising, everyone.
Yeah, happy birthday, Coach Cheryl.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Marie.
Welcome, beautiful. How you doing? Welcome, love
I
you.
am good.
So
Is
glad to
that
see you.
Teresa? Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's me, sister girl.
Good morning, Joey. Good morning, Chris. My mixer, I see a couple of people are joining still. Welcome, welcome. It is a pleasure to have you all here joining me on this Sunday morning on my first session. I'm very excited to get comfortable with Instagram. And I'm looking forward to helping you get comfortable with Instagram as well. Hello, Valencia. Welcome. Uh, who
Morning.
else
How you
is in
doing?
that? I'm good. I'm good. Aisha,
Good morning.
welcome all.
Good morning.
I'm going to get started.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, we're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
I definitely needed that to get me woken up. All right, so I am going to jump right in and tell you a little bit about me and what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about Instagram and using it, getting more comfortable with understanding the background behind it being either being a business tool or for socializing. And most people know it for the socializing aspect, but not so much the business aspect. Next slide, please. So to tell you a little bit about myself, I am a woman focused, Black power. I'm married. I'm very family oriented, as you can see. I am faith based and I am an entrepreneur. And I do all of those things through teaching, mentoring, educating, and being a community activist. Those are all parts of who I am. I started my business about 15 years ago, and it is a 5-star event production company with a wraparound event service that focuses on corporate event planning. So we work with a lot of big corporations like the Child Protective Services. We work with the Department of Education, charter schools, Home Depot, Liberty basketball team, et cetera. And recently, of note, I have been highlighted across the nation for our Juneteenth NY event that we've been doing for the last 13 years. So we were highlighted on New York Times, ABC News, CBS, all of those things. So that's what kind of makes me an expert in this field. And next slide, please. So I am going to start by asking you, community, who knows what a target market is? So I'm interested in hearing a little bit about target market in your space. What are your thoughts? What do you think the target market is?
Well has her hand
Valen-
up. I'm sorry, Valencia has her hand up.
Your head.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Target
So
market
what
is
do
a
you think?
market. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Okay. No, I'm sorry, I'm breastfeeding. I can't let my camera. Your
No
target
worries.
audience, the people who who fit your criteria, what your services or products are.
Okay. Thank you, Valencia. Anyone else want to add to that?
Thank you.
Teresa has her hand up.
Peace
ahead,
and
Teresa.
blessing. A target market is the people that you are specifically, to give your service to. Because if you have too many markets, then it could get, a little bit stressful. So when you have a target market, then say if it's 25 to 35, then that's your market. If it's Black people, it's Black people. If it's whatever particular group that you are targeted to. And I'm complete.
Thank you. And it looks like we have some responses in the chat as well. Can we read those off for me, please?
Absolutely. Karen L says the group or population you want to reach. And Cheryl says your desired audience.
Very true. So all of those are very true. So a target market is a specific group, like you've all mentioned, of people who have shared characteristics. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today. That a business market or product or service or companies use to market to. So that's a specific group of characteristics. So we're going to talk about an example next, and then we're going to do we're going to understand a little bit about what our target market here is with who. So next slide, please. So who remembers these phones? The iPhone. It came out in 2007. Everyone thought this was a national phenomenon because we were able to go from these big old box phones. My grandfather had one of them. Like, he was the first person I ever known to have a cell phone, and it was a book bag. And then we went from that to these small little things, these iPhones. So an iPhone, it was created by Steve Jobs. I want to know who were these created for? So I want you to put in the chat, who do you think iPhones were created for? So when we're talking about target markets and we're thinking about, like we just said, a particular characteristic, a group of individuals, like what does that look like? A specific group. What kind, who would you say was these created for? And everyone has iPhone. I personally don't. I'm an Android girl, but I know that most people are familiar with iPhones. Do we have any comments coming in?
There are 2, 3 comments. So businesses, I say business people, Charmaine, okay, some more coming in. I added high income, Valencia said consumers, Abimbola, business people. Kaisher Samuel, forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. She says, I'm an Android girl as well, but I believe businesses and professionals. And Charmaine drops in from Facebook what Shalmeet said. Shalmeet says for teens. Danette Bean says people who want to be more organized and have lots of options.
Awesome. So interesting, Shalmeet, you said for teens. So this was actually created for white male executives who were making $200,000 or more. Yep, somebody said the rich business people. Exactly. The reason why it was created for them to be able to check their emails, to read newspapers, to check the stock market, all of those things. So when you first get your phone, the settings already have those things. They already have emails already set on them, preset on them. They already have the newspaper, the apps, and all of those things. The reason why was this was created for someone who was able to pay that $5.99. And this, again, remember, this is 2007. So teenagers don't have $600 to just be able to pay. This was before payment plans were enacted. This was before any of those things were enacted. So it didn't have a great camera. It still doesn't have the greatest camera. Android is still winning the mark on that one. But it was made for business people who could just put out $600 or $700 at one side, right? As time progressed, they saw that there were other areas that people wanted to connect to the iPhone. And those other areas were families. So then they enhanced the cameras, and you've seen that definitely happening more and more. They increased the the Wi-Fi on it to make sure that you were able to do more searching. And then they started making the screens larger because they wanted it to be for gamers. So those were the different areas that they started to focus on, but that wasn't the original intent when they created. So sometimes when people are like, oh, when I ask them what their business is, like who their target market, they'll share, oh, my target market is for everyone. Nobody's business is ever for everyone. It's for one specific market first, and then you start to go further into understanding what who you want to open it up to add on to create different target markets. Next slide, and we can go back to that. So we're going to talk about, again, target markets are for people who do the same activities. They buy the same stores. The next slide, please. They buy from the same stores. They go out to the same places, and they have similar patterns of buying. So you see this male sports watch. I would like to hear from you, community. How might we sell this sports watch? Where are spaces? What stores? What places would you think that this sports watch would be sold in? Or where might we find males who are interested in purchasing something like that? I'm just going to read the chat while we go through that. I see Cheryl said, agreed. I was an Androidian for many years and only changed recently to iPhone. Android wins on the camera, definitely. And it still does in my book. As Valencia says, I have to be honest, I was always an Android girl until 2 years ago. I switched and I feel I have a better handle of my business with the technology. Interesting. Okay. So we have Kim Yoko. So she put gyms, and then we have sports stores. Awesome. So exactly. So there are spaces. So for example, a basketball game, a baseball game, football games, those are spaces where you might be able to do that. And especially for people who are doing like markets and things of that, this is also good to know where your market is. You want to be in a space where people are going to be so that you know that they'll actually purchase your stuff and they won't come to the space and be like, oh, that doesn't necessarily fit with my interests for today. Barbershops, gyms, appliance stores like Home Depot, I think, mail magazines. Definitely, I agree. Professional athletes, right? So those are all spaces. So y'all getting it. Okay, awesome. All right, so we're gonna do a little test, like I said. So we are gonna, for those in the Zoom world, we're gonna do a test. So if you can bring up the poll for me, and I just want you to be able to answer some of the questions. So we're gonna ask you some questions about gender, age range, and it doesn't say like your name or who is referenced to. We just wanna get an idea of who we have in our Woo family, right? What's your favorite restaurant, favorite stores, favorite books? All of those are things that are captured even in social media, especially when you are, yes, the poll is up and we are good to go. So if you see the poll on your side, please just answer the questions there. And I'll just read through them. So like I said, what is your gender? What is your age range? What is your favorite dining style? So all of those are preferences. A cafe, a food truck, fast food, fast casual, casual dining, fine dining, or family style. For those who are on the Facebook world, if you want to answer some of these questions as well, that'll be great. What is your favorite store or shopping source? Like an outlet, a mall, a discount store, online department stores like Macy's, chain stores like Old Navy, street fairs like the African Street Festival. What is your favorite book to read, the book type? Autobiography, fiction, self-help, historical, sci-fi, fantasy, and reference books. And when you have your answers, if you could just press submit, and you want to see what our Woo world looks like. Like I said, if you're on the Facebook page and you want to share as well, we would definitely like to know. And come and let me know when we are almost there.
And we're 56%, which is not bad, moving into 60. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Everybody should have a poll on their screen somewhere. Please take the time to fill it out. The questions are also dropped in the chat. So you have to follow the question. The questions will have numbers before it. There are 5 questions. So if you're answering the poll in the chat, make sure that there's 5 questions that you are responding and answer to. And this goes for Facebook as well. We are at 73%, up 78%. Let's keep it going. Of course, the ideal. Sorry?
I said we're trying to get to about 80.
Well, actually, if we could get to 100, that would be great. If everybody filled it out. That's quite likely not possible. I'll be happy with 80, but 78, we're almost there. So we're still, okay, 82, 86. Okay, we're stretching, this is great. I wonder if we can get to 90. 91, this is, I feel like I'm at an auction. 95, this is a first. I wonder if we can get to 100. 95%.
Almost there at 95, come on.
I know I'm pushing it.
For my first time family, come on. No worries. I think we can close that. I'm eager to see I'm eager to share.
You know what? We made it to 100.
We made it to 100?
You sure did. That's never ever. Go for it.
Well, thank you.
The responses are 4%. Okay, first question, what is your gender? 4% male, 96% female. And question number 2, what is your age range? We have 0%, 18 to 24, 4%, 25 to 35, 30%, 36 to 45, 4%, 46 to 45, 46 to 55, and 61, 56 and older. So that's the winner. What is your favorite dining style? 4% family style, 13% fine dining, 43% casual dining, nothing for fast casual, 4% for fast food, 4% for cafe, nothing for food truck, 30% for eating at home. And the winner is casual dining, followed by eating at home, close behind. Question 4 is, what is your favorite store or shopping source? 9% says outlet, 4% says mall, 13% says discount store, 26% says online, 17% says department store, 9% chain, and 22% street fairs. The winner is online, but it's very close to street fairs. And the other answers are closer also. All right, question 5, what is your favorite book? 13% says autobiography, 48% says fiction self-help, 13% historical, 4% sci-fi, 9% fantasy, 13% reference. The winner is fiction self-help. And there's a big gap between that and the next runner-up.
Yeah, that's the beginning. So I definitely expected self-help to be primarily for the group, as well as mostly female. Some of the others were interesting, older group, 56 and older, and just looking at the difference in dining. So these are the type of questions that you could ask your group of friends to get more of an idea of what they like to do, where they are, and then you'll be able to identify where you can participate. So we're gonna go a little bit, so that was a little bit about target markets, and why we kind of do target markets is very relative to social media, because social media, if anyone knows, it's a free platform. Why and how is it able to continue to be a free platform? And that's because they sell some of that information that we just talked about to businesses. Businesses like myself, businesses like big corporations, and they don't sell the information directly, but they sell the analytics to those type of businesses. So if you can put up the slides again, and we're gonna go into what is social media. So community, I want to hear from you. So that if you can go to the next slide, please. Tell me, what is social media? What are your thoughts about social media? What is it? What does that look like for you? Who do you feel engages in it? What are all of those spaces? And then I would also like to hear, what are some of your anxieties around social media? Because I know a lot of us have anxieties when it comes to social media. So I see in the chat a way to connect with people you know and do not know. I know I use my social media pages differently. I have one for my personal, which I share, and like I talked about earlier on, I do a lot of posts that are relative to married people, because I have my husband and I are seen as a Black couple that people look up to. So people will typically like my comments anytime we post anything that we might be doing together, anything around my family, if we're doing an outing or doing any kind of engagements in that space. There are anything about faith, anything about being an entrepreneur, anything about having an encouraging word. Those are all things that I typically use for that. Dr. Zanette, I see your hand raised. You want to come on and talk? Good morning.
I know. They say it don't matter how you look, right? All right, I'm coming on because I love y'all. You know,
I love you too.
I appreciate you so much. I'm learning, and I'm looking forward to learning so much from you. Just in terms of the anxiety, like when I first started my practice, it was in 2000. I started clinically 2000, and then my practice in 2003. And it wasn't, to my knowledge, social media. A lot of my work was, one-on-one and just like helping people. And then this thing came along that just changed the game, where there were some people who didn't necessarily have as much experience. It was like just figuring out how to capitalize off of it. And I just kept hoping it was going to go away because I couldn't figure it out. And, however many years later, it's still here. So the anxiety for me, I mean, honestly, sometimes I forget about it. I have to write it down because there's just so much that goes on. And so I don't always understand who I'm talking to. Like if I'm talking to a patient or somebody who needs help, it's one thing. But, I've been consistent. I have an assistant who's been helping me put things out. But it's like, I don't know who I'm specific. I'm used to talking one-on-one or to a group of people. But then to just be putting out stuff, it just hasn't, sunk for me.
So do you have what maybe an ideal person that you would consider to be, I guess, your target market? So your customers, you have an idea of, are they mostly female? You have an idea of their age range. You have an idea of some of their likes and dislikes. I would take some of that information, and I think you've been doing it. I've seen some of your posts, some of the email blasts that have gone out for sure, where you are focusing on, as of lately, it has been fibroids, and that's a big thing right now, right? And the grand scheme of things. So what you have been doing is to continue in that space. Talk to one person. I always like to do if I focus on my ideal customer. So the person who utilizes all of your services, they are a great, anytime you put something out, they sign up. Anytime you are looking to sell a program or platform or something like that, they are the first one to register. Think about that person and sell to that person. So if you put together your platform focusing on that individual, those who are like them, and they call those lookalike markets, those people will continue to flock to your page. Does that help for you?
So much. That's very helpful. It helps me to think about one person or one group. Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And see how that goes. And then if that doesn't work, then you can start to change, because maybe that might not be the ideal target market and that person might be the exception to the rule.
Athenia,
That makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Danette, for the question. And I have some comments from Zoom and Facebook I'd like to share, if that's okay, Athenia.
Yes, please do.
Okay, Joey Lai says, a tool of connection, a business tool, an addiction. Sharon L says, a place to connect with people, a place to gain new knowledge. Kaisha Samuel says, platforms such as IG, Facebook, Twitter, to engage with others, gain and exchange information. Shlomit from Facebook says, social media is a place where I can promote myself and keep in touch with family and friends. Cheryl says, a space to express yourself and share information, a space to share jokes, enlightenment, community info, a place to purchase, and more. Shlomit adds, Boo is an example how social media can be very beneficial. Celia Bellin says, positive and negative outcomes, positive get info, negative personal info falling into wrong hands. Teresa says, way to expand my business and also motivate people not to give in to the trials and test their comfort with. Valerie says, a platform that you can promote your business, encourage and empower others, share your value and content that you have a particular expertise, a place to connect with others. Okay. And Shem says, excuse me, one of the negative aspects of social media is being hacked and harassed and scammed. And that's it.
Yeah, definitely all valid and all very true. Unfortunately, in a lot of places, social media can be used for all of those things and have been used. And I'll tell you a little story for our Juneteenth event. On my Juneteenth page this past year, because Juneteenth has now become this like national phenomenon that everyone is most involved in and most engaged in, a lot of hackers started to attack my page, and they were successful, and my page got shut down. My everything, my WhatsApp, my Instagram, my Facebook, all of it was shut down, and it was made to look like it was Facebook. So it was to look like Facebook. So I went. They said that, oh, somebody is hacking. You got to go to this website and check it out. I went on, and what happened? It was bogus, and my account was closed for 40 days. during a pivotal time of promotion for me. So as you can imagine, it was very hectic. But what that did teach me, and what I wanted to share with that story with everyone, is that there are lots of people out there that are exactly clickbait, that are out there to try to get you. What you have to do is make sure that you are following make sure that it's a real Facebook link. Facebook doesn't ask for passwords or anything like that. So what they'll do is they'll send you an email as a clickbait saying that you have been scammed on your page, or you posted something that was inappropriate, and then you go to put in your passwords, and then they take all of your context and they started messaging. So this was different. It wasn't like the ones that y'all typically see where you get all of these spam messages. This one was where it closed down my entire page. And it even, like I said, closed down my WhatsApp. Like, I still don't have access to my WhatsApp, which is sad because I was using it for everything, for Be the Tree, for Rule. Like, my whole life was on WhatsApp. So I had to figure out another way. But I say that also to say those are some of the negative aspects. But I do want to talk about also some of the positive aspects. When using it for social, it is a great way for families to connect. And I think a number of people mentioned that, right? I use it to connect with my family members most time because we are all so busy. I have 3 siblings. Now with my husband's family, I have, I think, like 9 of us. And it's difficult to stay in contact with 9 people, plus our parents. So put it on social media. Everybody gets the information all at the same time. They respond. We, move on from there. But that is part of the way people use to stay connected. Now, to use it in business, it's a little different, right? You can use this to attract customers, to get customers' feedback and build customer loyalty. So similar to what I was just sharing with Dr. Jeanette, that's something that you can utilize the platform for in that space. You can use it to increase your market reach, including international markets. So the great thing about social media is it allows you to kind of do this breadth, right? To go wide with your information and reach different markets, so reach across overseas. One of the things with social media, if you look at the analytics, it shares with you where people are connecting with you from. So if you're the United States, it'll tell you there, and then it gets granular. It gets even more detailed. So it'll tell you if it's from New York, from Philadelphia, from Florida, from Georgia. So you have people in different areas. So that is one thing as far as analytics are concerned. And then it also tells you, I have a bunch of people, I think I have somewhere like 400 customers in the Philippines. Not exactly sure why, but I am glad to know that I have customers in the Philippines who are interested in the work that I'm doing. So that allows you to have more reach. It helps you to do market research. And that's another piece. Like we just did, you can put up a question. I'm really good at putting up a question on my social media and saying, hey, what do you think about this idea? Or, I have a business about balloons. So I'll put up like, what are the differences or about colors? We're real big now on, world health and how things are doing. And a lot of things around balloons are talking about they're bad for the environment and all of those things. So I'll put up information about it not being bad for the environment because it's biodegradable, it's plant-based. A lot of people don't know that, but that's information that I'm able to share to be able to help people to understand the products that I offer and how they can be more comfortable with purchasing. It also helps you to develop your brand. Now, whenever I send out an email or a message, people who are engaged or know what I stand for, they're quick to open it because they know that it might be something that's relevant, helpful for them. I am a resource guru. I love sharing information to the community. So I'm constantly posting things about activities or events that are happening, things that are helpful for people. So it helps you to start to identify what your brand is and to create that in that space. Also, it helps you to exchange ideas to improve. Yes, balloons are plant-based. It helps you to recruit skilled staff, for example. So there are networks like LinkedIn, which is really great for business-to-business connections and allows you to have relationships with individuals and to learn a little bit about them. one of the things that I do when I am looking for a new employee, not for nothing, I go on social media and I see a little bit about them. I want to know, you know, what's their story, so to speak. Are they someone that likes to go and walk around with guns on the weekend, or are they someone that's family oriented and likes to enjoy and play to take their family out? That people put a lot of things on Facebook. So that is a space where you will learn a little bit about people. And then it also allows me to keep an idea on my competitors, like what are they doing? So I can see their pages, I can see what they're promoting, what they're focusing on. And then it allows me to see if I want to stay in that space or if I want to change up. And usually I'm about leading the charge. I don't like to follow the trends. I like to do things different. And that allows you the space to kind of do that. So those are the benefits for any questions about benefits for social media, for business and or personal. And do we have any comments in the chat, admin team?
It's random comments. Cheryl suggests, it looks like it's a suggestion, you plan events for people in. And Teresa has her hand raised.
Go ahead, Teresa.
Yes, hi, peace and blessing. The thing that what I found out recently is finding other social media places to, put your information. It's like a lot of them. And so by me doing that, I feel like if Facebook or Instagram, whatever, that they, do that, shut your stuff down, then you have other avenues. And also like you said, doing the emails and doing the SMS, because this way you constantly keep, if you're doing it, when you have your business, you constantly keep in contact with your customers, especially if you do email and text, because, like you said, if Facebook, when I'm shut down, then, you don't have access to that customer. So that's the new thing that I've been doing, was making sure that I'm creating text and email along with, like there's a place called Gab that I use, Minds, Medium. So all those different places are a good way, to showcase stuff. Like Reddit is another one. Read Cash. All those different places that you can, advertise your business on, as well as different stories on it. It's a huge platform. So that's a good thing that I'm working with social media lately. That going to other social media places, and I'm complete.
Yeah, indeed. And you mentioned a couple of things. One of the things that I kind of talk about when I do a full presentation about social media is that social media is not just Facebook. It is not just Instagram and LinkedIn. Social media also includes emails, text messages, all of those things. And a lot of us don't think about it in that space. But social is really anything that allows you to be social, which is to have interchangeable conversations with someone. So text message, WhatsApp, and emails are all spaces that allow for that. So those are all spaces that are considered social media as well. So if we don't have anything else, I'm going to talk about some disadvantages. So we started talking about some of the disadvantages, like being spammed and people posting on your page, promote here, promote on my website, or promote on my Instagram, all things that definitely happen, and that's considered spam. And as you consider, I take it that when I start to see that, that means I'm doing something good, because I'm getting on markets that people are outside of my network. So take it as a good thing and just delete them and continue to move on. So other things is, if you don't have a clear marketing and social media strategy, the benefits may be reduced. So a lot of times, and we'll talk about this shortly, when you are doing Instagram posts, if you don't have a clear idea of your target market, it makes it a little difficult for you to create a social media strategy that will bring the right people to your page. So it becomes costly. So, but at the very beginning with any business, it's going to be a little costly, because you have to figure out what your metrics are. You have to figure out, like I said, what your true target market is. so that you can continue to hone in on it. But once you find it, you're good as gold and continue to put money into that space. So it helps by finalizing or understanding what your characteristics are so that you can target to those people. Social media is immediate and needs daily monitoring. So that's one of those things that people are like, oh, do I have to post every day? Do I have to be engaged with people? And yeah, it is social, right? It's a space. It's like you go to a party and you're just sitting in a corner. That doesn't work. So the same thing with social media. It's like, oh, you have on this nice, beautiful dress and I'm sitting in the corner. So you put up this nice picture on Facebook or Instagram and then you never respond to anybody. People want to hear your voice. They want to have conversation. They want to know more about the picture. They want to know where were you? What were you doing? How did you get there? Like all of those things are part of the conversation. And that's part of what you want to be able to share in that space as well. If you don't actively manage your social media presence, you may not see any real benefits. So the thing with Instagram specifically, it works on an algorithm, and algorithms are based on your activity, right? So if you are constantly looking at, for myself, I'm constantly looking at activities for my children to do. I'm always looking at things, ways to engage with my husband. So marriage always comes up. Spirituality always comes up because those are the things I'm always looking for, words or inspiring words that I can look at. And then things about business always comes up. So if you go into my feed and I start scrolling, those are the things that are going to come up most in my feed. If you like to watch videos and you press videos often, every time you go into your Instagram feed, guess what? You're going to see a lot of videos. Those are going to be the first things that come up because the algorithm shows that you enjoy watching videos. So they're going to continue to follow you with that. The same thing with everything else. So this is the people who you're following, they have certain preferences that they share on their space. So the way you engage, so if you don't engage often, guess what? The algorithms are going to be off because they're not really sure who you are. They're not really sure what you like. They're not sure how what your likes and your dislikes are. So it's just going to give you randomness in your feeds. So being active on your page allows Instagram to show you what algorithms and can keep consistent with the things that you really are interested in seeing. Online exposure and attacks, we talked about that. Negative feedback is also a thing, especially when it comes to businesses. And how I deal with negative feedbacks, as mentioned earlier, my business is a 5-star business, and I think we have somewhere over 384 responses from people that we've done work with. And part of that is if there is an issue, I respond to it. It's not, a lot of negative feedback is just that, but it's feedback. And you want to respond to it just the same as good feedback. It's an opportunity for you to grow. It's an opportunity for you to learn. So put things into place. Let the world know that, yes, there was an issue, and this is how I dealt with it. When people see that you're responsive in those spaces, so like if you went to a hotel and you had a bad experience in the hotel, and then you went on social media and you put, I went to the A&B hotel, it was horrible. And then they come and they say, oh, I'm so sorry you had that experience. The next time you come, we're going to compliment you with a free room. Don't you think that I'm going to go and, to reserve a room in that space, because even if I do have a bad experience in that space, I know I potentially might get a free room. So you see the thinking that kind of goes along with that in that space. And then the last is being careful about false or misleading information. Some people might repost other people's work as their own. That has definitely happened to me before, and it might also happen to others. But we're in a community here at WU where we share alike. So not posting doesn't mean that someone is not going to take your material, because if they hear or they see something, that it can still happen. Any space, people can take your material. So not posting it or not sharing information does not put you in that space. And I'm going to stop and ask if there are any comments on social media, on Facebook, or in the chat.
Yes, the chat has couple of things. So, all right, Catherine's comment was you had shared that before about communicating with family on social media at one time. And Charmaine, so Jem from Facebook says Rumble, Substack are others I've heard about. She also says it's important to be cautious about clicking on links and messages, especially if they are unsolicited. Look carefully to see if it's not .com, .org, or .biz, for example. And Cheryl has her hand up.
Sure. Hello, Cheryl.
Grand Rising, everyone. So my question, although I have business as well, my question is from the standpoint of just not business, like what you just shared about the value or of people stealing your content or even social media owning your content. That's what I'd like to explore. Does Facebook and Instagram and all these places, do they own my pictures when I post them? I have stopped posting pictures of my family and things for concern that those pictures are now owned by the social media platform and they can do whatever they like with them. Is that actual and factual?
So that is actual and factual to the extent. So the reason why they share that as the legal content is because people are resharing your work. So say for example, if you posted a picture, I don't know, of a beach, and it was a beautiful beach picture, and it was something that someone saw as serene and they wanted to reshare it, because it was your picture, technically you could say, oh, you know, that picture went viral and now everyone who used my picture owes me money. By Instagram saying that they own it, it takes that ownership away from you, and it allows people to be able to share the picture. So a lot of people look at it in a low vibrational way and saying like, oh, they own my picture, they're gonna take it, they're gonna sell it. It's not, it's really more about the legal part for them so that they are being allowed to share, because it's a social platform, it's a space where it's open and people are allowed to reshare, repost, to like, to screenshot and, you know, and to share with other people. And you want that, especially with your business. You want people to screenshot your stuff and to share it with others, because that's how you build your business. So that's more in line of what they are referring to when they're saying that they own the picture.
So
I hope that helps.
That helps, but I hope this is not off topic, but sort of related. In the early days of that information being put out, I heard stories of people being reported to have had their photo taken and used on an ad over in another country or something like that. And it's their family picture. And they were incensed behind it. So I don't know how true that was, but, you know, so with them owning your picture, and like you said, it's more about protecting you from then going around and saying everybody owes me for my picture going viral. I get that. But would they be able to do things like that, take your picture and use it in to advertise for something that they desire, or sell it to someone, sell it outside of the platform for someone else to use to advertise? Would they be able to do that?
So they specifically, I mean, we have to think there are a couple of billion of pictures and things that are on our social media. So they're not specifically targeting like Cheryl or Athenia or Valerie's pictures. They might be looking for a particular picture of a family, and for what do you call it, like a flyer or something like that they're looking for. So what happens is, and I don't know if you've ever done this search, I do flyers often, and I'm looking for it's called a photo stock picture. And what people have now started to learn is that you cannot just Google search family pictures and use any picture off of that, because Facebook is on the worldwide net, right? So it's everywhere. I just talked about people in Philippines being able to see your work. So if I put up like one of my hashtags is Rodney tribe or some tribe, and people are looking for tribes, people can take a picture of a tribe that I put up there and they can use it for their promotional materials. So the intent, I think a lot of times we look at it as the intent of it. They're not selling it per se. Like I said, it's on the internet. So anyone could find the picture and they could use it because of what's being used or the intent of the picture. But that's not necessarily the focus. So I hope that kind of helped with understanding where people are when it comes to that. And it's really just a protection of them saying that the picture may be used for sale. So I might use the picture in on my website and say, you know, and I'm selling something with that. So those are kind of those gray areas, so to speak, where we're talking about someone taking a picture and using it for resale.
Okay, thank you. Very helpful.
No problem.
Athenia, did you
Yes.
name the site that you use to protect your images? I thought I heard you say something.
There are a couple of pictures. So on Instagram per se, there is no particular site, but one of the things that you can do that you is put a watermark on your picture so that people know that it is a personal picture, and that also deters people from using pictures if there's a watermark on it as well. So a lot of the pictures that I post, especially for my balloon business, will have our Umoja logo on it, so that if somebody takes the picture, unless they're gonna gray it out and it looks weird, you know, it'll end up looking weird if they do so, but you have watermarks that you can put on your picture that also help to protect you. That is one way that you can use for Instagram. If you're doing it on your personal page, like your website, you can do something that, and I forget the site now, but I will definitely share it later. It is where you're not able to, it gives you protective rights. So it allows people not to be able to click on your picture and to take the picture off of your page. But we do have screenshots. We do have all kinds of things that we could use now. People cut out the outside. So people get real creative when it comes to being able to use a picture for a particular reason. But if you like to take pictures, I definitely encourage you, because photo stock is where you can go and get pictures that are legally allowed to be shared and to be used for promotions and all of those kind of things without any ramifications. So basically, if you saw that picture, you know that that is something that was allowed to be used. Any other comments coming up in the chat?
Yes, before we go any further, I want to bring attention to the time is 8:01. And we missed the mark at 7:55 because we were engaged in the conversation. But the point is that some folks need to leave to go to work or church or wherever they go. And I want to give you all a big thank you for being here. A reminder that you can catch up what you missed on the replay that will be in Facebook, and contact information will be dropped in the chat so you can follow up with Athenia in the future. And thank you. And Teresa has her hand up and their comment, yes. Charmaine said, she just reiterated what you said. So Teresa has her hand up.
Yes, being just recently dealing with NFTs, that's one thing that they do is they use a lot of watermarks in the NFTs, so people can't just come and take the NFT and say that it's theirs. They usually put NFTs. Pick Monkey and Pick Art is another place where you can get different photos and stuff from, but they do have some that you can use without the watermark. But a lot of companies are doing that watermark now to kind of protect their pictures. So people that are artists, that would be a good thing to do, was to create a watermark. And a lot of these programs have free plans. You don't have to pay for them. Some of them do if you want more instances stuff, but a lot of them do have good sites. The thing I want to also say was that my problem is with Instagram. I don't feel comfortable doing Instagram live yet, so that's where I'm focusing. And I was just wondering how I could get a system with the fear of doing Instagram live.
Oh, you were just jumping all that towards the end, because I have some goodies for you. We are gonna do. I'll hold off on what the goodies is because I want y'all to stay to the end. But we have some goodies that will definitely be in line with helping you with that, Teresa. So hold on tight. If we can put the slides back up, I want to talk a little bit about Instagram so that you can get some background information on it. And I think it's slide 13. If we can go to, yes, there we go. So this is, like I was sharing earlier about some of the demographics, the background. If you are looking to sell to people between the ages of 18 and 65 or engage with people between 18 and 65, actually over 65 as well, but this is the target market for Instagram. These are what they have as their target market area. People who are mostly age users who are on there are between 18 and 29. And income-wise, we have people who are 60% who are making $100,000 or more use Instagram, okay? Gender, mostly female, but it's a 51-49 split, which is really good. On other platforms, it is not the same. Like LinkedIn is mostly a male-dominated area. So if your products or things that you're doing is more focused on females, then this is a great platform. Most followed accounts. This is just a little tidbit I wanted to share of sites that have a lot of followers, 200 million. Those people are considered influencers, and it's good to connect with them in some ways. One of the things I know my husband did when we were doing live for his DJ business, he would tag artists that he was going to play music for, and he does gospel music. He would tag the artist, and guess what? The artist responded to him, and they were like, "Oh, this is cool." He would highlight them on their birthday, and he would do a special birthday shout out, and he'd let them know, "Come listen to me," and they actually did. So being able to find ways to connect to people who are a part of your industry helps to increase your following in that way. So that's why I share that information. And then businesses and shopping. So Instagram is getting really great now about using it for business and being able to connect in a multitude of different ways. So if you go to the next slide, I'm going to share some of the things that are opportunities to be able to utilize for Instagram. So you have photo and video. So this is the area, the space that most people get really excited about because video is not stagnant. It helps to tell a story in a short period of time, and it allows you to be more engaged. As a picture, usually you have to go into the notes and find more information about the picture. What exactly was this? Where was this? What were they doing? What was the scenario around it? So this is helpful when you are looking at putting up engagements. People are most engaged in videos or short clips. And with Instagram, and we'll talk about this in a little while, they have a segment that allows you to do IGTV, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So the next slide, please, is the carousel, I think. Yep. So the next one is the carousel, and a carousel is, if you see there are 3 dots under the picture, depending on how many pictures you put into it, it could be 4. I think they allow you up to 10 pictures that you can put into the space. And it basically, again, another way of kind of telling a story. But this encourages people to be more interactive into the space. So they have to actually push to go to the next picture in order to see the concurrent pictures afterwards. So the first picture you usually want for it to be enticing, to let people know like what it is. If you were jumping out of a plane, you wouldn't want to put the picture of you already being down on the floor. You would probably want to have the picture of you jumping out, or you about to jump out. So people are like, oh my gosh, what's about to happen? What are they doing? And they want to see what the rest of the pictures are. So when you are doing a carousel, you want to have pictures that are, the starting picture should be something that grabs the attention of the people so that you can go into the rest of them. Next slide, please. So Instagram stories. So this is a great way to continue to stay top of mind for people. It also is another way to kind of put content up that doesn't stay on for long periods of time. So Instagram stories only stay on for 24 hours. They are up there at the top. And a lot of times, that's all I have time to kind of look at. So Instagram stories, I go into my Instagram and I see, and I'll get stuck on Instagram stories. And I think somebody mentioned earlier that social media is a time portal, because you get into it and then you get sucked in and you're constantly in that space for a long period of time. And then a half an hour goes by and like, where did the time go? So I usually go onto Instagram with the intention, like I have to literally write it down. Like I'm going in here to look for someone's contact number or contact information. And I go into it and I still get sucked in. But then I look at my paper and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this. So definitely use Instagram stories are a space where you can do a little short video, you can do pictures. Again, it's a highlighted reel of what kind of to expect from your page. Instagram stories are great because it is not just seen by your followers. So if your page is public and it's open, more than just your followers will get to see the picture that is in the stories. And if you can go to the next one, please.
Okay, before I do that, there was a question from Shawnee about what is interactive content or something. I don't remember what. And because
what is
interactive element?
Sure. So interactive element. So if you can go back to carousel. So interactive element is really just something that allows you, that encourages you to physically do something to the page. So instead of just scrolling through, it encourages you to actually touch the picture, to go from one picture to the next. So you are doing more than just that one thing. And again, like we talked earlier on with Instagram, with social media overall, it's about being social. It's about being engaged on that space. What the interactive element of the slides or the carousel does for you is it increases your analytics, because it allows people to stay on your page longer to look through your pictures. So if they go through that carousel, the next part is typically that they want to see what other pictures you might have, and they might scroll down to the rest of your feed to see if there was more pictures about that particular story. So that's what the interactive element is. Any other questions that I might have missed? Shani said, does that mean adding music or hashtags? Yep, so adding music is helpful in some respects if you're using the music from the page. So with Instagram, if you go into Instagram, it has a space now where you can add music to your highlights or to your oh my gosh, what do you call it? Or to your page overall when you are going into it. So that does make it an interactive element. There are also spaces where you can put like on the 16, the last one, do you like donuts or fries over fries? And it allows you to say, yes, I like donuts more, or I like fries more. So anything that allows people to kind of engage in your page more helps them to build relationship with you, helps them to also stay active. Music you can add to your reels as really increases the views, indeed. So because people are visual as well as, Lord, I can't think of the term now, but people, auditory, visual and auditory, they like to hear as well as see. And the other part is smell. Well, we can't really smell on social media, but we can do the other two. So this allows people to have the two spaces in one, which is another way of increasing your views as well. And then it was another thing, hashtags. So hashtags are great for increasing people's engagement with your page outside of your normal activities. So for example, if your page is public, and I keep saying this is if your page is public, because similar to what Cheryl was saying earlier, a lot of people are conscious of their pictures being taken or being used inappropriately outside of the manner in which they were posted for them. But if your page is public, it is more open to everyone. If it's private, it doesn't mean that that's not going to happen. It just means it's less likely to happen because it's not open to everyone, and only the people who are part of your network are the ones who are able to see your pictures. So that's the difference. But with a private page, you're limited to the things that you can do, and you're also limited to the exposure that you have. So if you're using Instagram for business, you want to make your page public because it's something that people want to be able to engage in. I know when I was doing Juneteenth and we were looking at artists, a couple of artists had their pages private. And I was like, hey, you know, if we're going to work with you and we're going to partner with you, your page needs to be open, because we want people to, you know, the first thing that people are going to do when they see a flyer is they're going to go to Instagram and they want to research you. They want to learn, again, like I said, they want to know what your characteristics are, and are those characteristics familiar or in line with who I am as a person. So if they can't get to your page, then they're like, okay, they're going to go on to the next one. They're not going to spend the time to wait for you to let them into your page and all that other stuff. So those are some of the things that I have used. So now going back to hashtags. So what a hashtag does is it allows people outside of your general network to see your page. So it's a searchable content. So you want to put in your hashtags things that are relevant to what you're talking about. So for example, if I am talking about balloons, I want to talk about all of the spaces that I think someone might be searching for balloons. So it might be birthday parties, it might be weddings, it might be corporate events, it might be festivals. So I will put all of those things. So when someone goes into Google now and they search balloon festival, my picture is more likely to show up in their search. And the same thing with Instagram. If people go in there and they put balloon festival or any of the hashtags or hashtags that are similar, it is also going to show up. Hashtags also help you with, remember when I was talking about the analytics that Instagram does? That also builds the analytics. So people who are in line with birthdays, or if they're talking about birthdays, or if they have a birthday coming up, people don't even realize that with social media. I know you see they'll send you a message, so-and-so's birthday is about to come up. You know, do you want to send them a gift? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? So all of those are a part of the analytics that go into hashtags as well. So you definitely want to use hashtags, especially on Instagram, because Instagram is hashtag friendly. Facebook, not so much so, but it has, because all of the Instagram posts now can be posted on Facebook and Twitter. So those are the open spaces. Do we have other questions?
There is one more. Athenia, you're talking about analytics. There's a question from Shawnee. She asked, do they have demographics on the number of users who identify as LGBTQIA+?
So, not that I know of, not on the platforms that I use, but I'm sure it is something that could be requested. So, the best way that I would go about doing that would be using a hashtag. So if you're looking specifically for that kind of analytics, it would be using a hashtag of any of those, like gender neutrals or LGBT IA plus or in your hashtag to do a search, and that'll be the best way to kind of get information from there. Facebook and Instagram have not gotten as far as doing analytics on that as of yet. They will do, when it comes to gender, they'll do female, male, and I think non-specific. So that is one way that you might be able to identify in that space, but not everyone who is in those categories identifies non-specific either. So, you know, you end up not missing out on some analytics in that space.
Valencia Noel,
Any other?
yes, Valencia Noel put in the chat a question. I'm not clear on it. Maybe she can share. I'll read the question, and if you understand it, Athenia, you can answer it. On your business, the copywritten music is not available. How can we use them?
Say that one more time.
On your business, the copywritten music is not available. How can we use them?
I'm sorry. Hi.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. On your business page, I'm sorry, I forgot to include the word page.
Got it.
Yeah, so I have a personal and a business page. So if I'm like posting a picture on my stories, I'm able to like on my private page, I'm able to like post a picture, and you know, if I want to like put like Ty Tribbett or like a Beyonce song, it's there. But on my business page, it's not available. I guess they don't want you using the copywritten music, you know. I guess, you know, but are you able to? Because some people I do realize can. Like, are you able to request that? And I'm complete. Thank you.
So, yeah, so music is one of those those touchy subjects, especially for Facebook. On Facebook, it's difficult to use music. It becomes a copyright issue, and especially based on how popular the song is. So if it is a popular song, so people like a Jay-Z and Beyonce, they definitely own the rights, and they will, you know, they'll shut you down immediately if you try to use their songs on Facebook. Instagram is a little bit more lenient, and it also depends on how long the music is playing. So if it is just a snippet, and I think the snippet is 5 to 7 seconds or something like that. If anyone knows exactly the amount of time, please share that in the chat. But anything longer than that, that's when it goes into the infringement rights. So you can do a sampling of a snippet and reuse. So that's why in Instagram, you might hear like a hook, and they'll play that hook over and over again. And that's the only part of the song that you'll really hear. And that's part of the protection of the infringement rights. So a lot of times it is about using non-popular songs that are off of market or in other industries. That's where you better have access to using the music. And I hope that helps. Any other questions or comments?
Nothing else in the chat?
Awesome. So we can go to our last slide, which I think is slide 18. And yeah, it is definitely difficult, Shawnee, for analytics are changing, but I am going to also talk about this platform that I use, which is called Leader. And I know a lot of people were probably like, oh my gosh, this is all a lot to do. This is a lot to manage. Putting up posts on a regular basis, engaging, finding out analytics, changing things. And if you go to the next slide, please. So this Leader platform allows you to manage all of your social media pages. So Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter. And now they're starting to add TikTok and I think LinkedIn also onto the page. But it allows you to stock your pictures. So what I typically do is on a Sunday evening, I will sit down for about 2 hours and I will go through a list of pictures and comments, and I will put them on my later. And these pictures will post out through different times of the day. One of the things that I didn't talk about is that later helps you to identify is the frequency in which the people who are following you actually engage in your Instagram page. So again, we're talking about characteristics, right? Those things that are centered around when people are most active on your page. And that is focused on the timing. So for me, most people engage on my page around 8 p.m. So between 8 and 10 are the best days for me. And I think Wednesday and Sunday are the times where people are most engaged on my page. So guess what? That's the time that I want to put up my post, because as soon as I put them up, people are going to like them or they'll comment on them because they're engaged on my page during those times. Not to say that it won't fall on their page if they join outside of those time frames, but again, the most active times of the people who follow my page are during particular times. So later helps you to identify that. It helps you to do more detailed analytics as far as where people are coming, how often, and it makes your life a lot easier. So I did put, I think we put in the chat the link that you can use to open up an account. They have a free service. I think it allows you to do about 25 free posts per month. And then after that, if you want to do more, then it's a nominal fee. And if you want to connect to multiple platforms, I think they have a fee for that as well. But I did put an affiliate link. If you use the affiliate link, it will give you and me 10 free posts, additional posts to the 25. So instead of 25, you'll have 35 posts for your first month. So I hope you will utilize that. And I think I see a question or comment.
Yeah, Valerie asked, how is later different than Hootsuite?
Sure. So later for me, I found to be more user-friendly than Hootsuite. When I was using Hootsuite, so I help to manage other people's platforms. So I have a couple of businesses, nonprofits that I manage, and it allows for multiple pages at one time. Hootsuite, the learning curve for being able to teach my staff or others was a lot harder than later. So using later for me has been the one that, for people who are just getting started, is the one that I suggest to use.
Okay. Can
I add to that question? I just wanted to ask quickly, are you using the upgrade at this point?
The upgrade of later?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, I want to check it out because I didn't like Hootsuite either.
Awesome, thank you. Any other questions or comments before we go into the offer?
Teresa's hand is up.
Who, Teresa? Oh, yes, go ahead, Teresa.
The things that I want to say is that Google Trends is a way to help you like locate different populations that you're looking for and certain words that you can use like when you're doing social media. It helps a lot because it'll tell you like, I do deal with social media, but they have like so many stuff that could tell you like what's a good state to be at. But Google Trends like tells you like what states like you can get like your information, because sometimes people just stay stuck in that one state. But when you use Google Trends, it shows you like words you can use. It just shows you like where your population might work well. It's another site, but I just don't remember right now. But it's another site that tells you that kind of stuff too. And so it's a lot of stuff that I learned in the last 6 months that I never knew. So it has changed a big difference in how I do social media. But my thing is just still what's scary about is Instagram and doing the Instagram live. But I'm gonna get it today because you're gonna tell me something to help me, and I'm complete.
I definitely will. No problem. Thank you, and thank you for reminding me. With the later, one of the great things that it also does, it helps you to identify hashtags that are most relevant to your picture. So if you put up a picture, it'll give you suggested hashtags. based on those hashtags that worked really well. It also gives you the analytics on the hashtags and the pictures that worked well congruently together. So it does a lot of analytical work for you. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of things so that you're able to focus on doing your work, the business that you really and truly are set out to do, and not making social media your business. And if we can bring up the special offer. So for the special offer, I am gifting to you a 7-day Instagram post challenge. So if you are interested in, and it sounds like a couple of you are, to improve your comfortability level with Instagram for either your business or your personal, I would like to work with you. And if you can drop the link in the chat, that would be great. And there are a couple of questions. There's also a question, if you would like to have a 15-minute complimentary consultation, that is also available to you through the link as well. So if you go through the link and you want to do the 7-day Instagram post challenge, which I really hope you do and are excited to do, we are going to start, I think we're looking to start the first week in August to get everyone going and to see how just to test the waters. I know we do well when we do things in community, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to offer that to us. And then the complimentary consultation allows me to be able to go through your page with you, give you suggestions, and to offer different opportunities that we have as an offering as well. Next slide, please. And if you are looking to connect with me, like I said, I have a couple of pages. My personal page is at Athenia Rodney on Instagram, and my business page for Umoji Events, which is my balloon and event planning company, is Umoji Events 1. And for my Juneteenth business is Juneteenth NY. Definitely encourage you to follow each of those pages, see how we engage in different spaces, and how each of them are definitely very different in their post, so that you can get an idea or feeling for how you might want to set your own information up as well. And my email and website are also there. And my phone, please text. I have been in a space where spam calls, which I'm sure a lot of you are in, have been running rampant. So if you can text me first before you call, that would be great. Next slide, please. And then in true Woo spirit for love offerings and donations, please, this is a labor of love, I think, for all of us that joined. And it was a pleasure waking up and being in this space with you on this day, on Sunday. So if you are so inclined to please share and offer a love offering, I would appreciate it. And please use code #66AR for Athenia Rodney. And I think I am complete.
Thank you so much, Athenia. There are other ways to offer donations to Woo, and that is this. You have 4 options for money amounts. One is $25, one is $50, the other is $75, and then finally $100. They are attached to separate bit.ly links. Those links you see on the screen, and they'll be dropped in the chat. So you just click it and then set it up. And that's what it is. It's a set it and get it experience. And the donations will be sent on a monthly basis automatically. Next up, tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Monday. Wait, what's today? Sorry. Tomorrow is Monday, July 25th. Topic, You Matter, Your Inner Circle Matters. An introduction, Enneagram Part 1. So this is Joey Lai. She is going to be presenting this, and on Tuesday, she'll be coming back with Part 2. So do stick around. That particular title is You Matter, Your Inner Circle Matters, A Deeper Understanding. So do come back Monday and Tuesday to hear Joey Lai speak on this topic. And so if you're new in the space, and I know that there's some folks out there, please don't be shy. Let us know who you are. Say in the comment, it's just as simple as that. I'm new. And you could do that in Zoom if you're in Zoom and new. Or you can do that in Facebook if you're new in Facebook. Or if you've done a crossover, visiting Zoom from Facebook or vice versa. You're new in space. Maybe you've been out for a while and you're back and you feel new, say it. Because you can get the love, why not? And the community, you know what to do. So we are here 5 days a week. We want you to keep coming back. Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, our long days, we're here from 7 to 8:30. And Monday and Wednesday are our short days. We're here from 7 to 7:30. Always on Zoom, always streaming live on Facebook. And if you want to get an automated alert to remind you to get up so that you never miss us, type in Woo Nation in the comment section to the number 74121 inside of your text. You can do that right now. 74121 is the telephone number, is the number. And Woo Nation is the comment. And then you'll be put in our automated text alert system. We have swag. If you don't know it already, go to bit.ly/Woo Swag, get yours. You can choose from a thermos, a mug, laptop sleeve, bag, a journal, mask, sweatshirt, t-shirts, all colors and sizes. Don't take my word for it. Go, if you don't believe me, go and see what there is. If you ordered something, order again, order for a friend. Somebody needs one of these things. If you're gonna buy one anyway from Rite Aid or Walgreens, just come right here and get it with your the Woo tag on it. All right, stay in touch. Weekly registration is suggested. This will allow you to get onto our email list and receive the messages that will allow you to know who's coming up next and be in the know before anybody else. Just know, it's a good feeling to know. So bit.ly/Wake Up Move, that's what you will do. We have 2 Facebook pages. One is private, one is public. The private page is a group page, and that's where we are streaming live now. You need to ask for admittance if you're not a member. bit.ly/Woo Community, where to go. If you are a member, if you type that in, it'll take you right in, and you can comment. You can read other people's comments. You can ask questions. And you also receive messages from facilitators if they drop anything in there. The public page is a fan page, bit.ly/Woo Nation. Nation is uppercase. And then you go to that page, click like and share. We're on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual, on YouTube at bit.ly/Woo on YouTube. And we have an email address if you want to send us a message of any sort. We'd love to hear from you. I'm going to stop share now. I'm going to ask you, and you give Athenia a love shower. Appreciation for this presentation.
Thank you so much, beautiful.
Athenia,
Thank you.
beautiful, so
Excellent,
needed.
excellent.
Thank you so much for sharing your beauty, your expertise.
Very
Thank
important.
you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Really great
Appreciate you.
job. I
That was
really,
so
really, really
amazing.
enjoyed it. Thank you
I
so
look
much.
Thank you,
forward to meeting
everyone.
with you.
Thank you.
Very
Hey,
much.
family, what's up?
Yeah,
Hey, Miss
Yes.
Monica,
Follow you on
Courtney.
Instagram
That
too, and
was
LinkedIn.
amazing.
Sent you an invite.
That was
Let's
beautiful. I
take
really
care for
enjoyed
you.
it.
Thank you
I
so much.
learned, I
Yeah,
learned.
I really
Can't wait
appreciate it.
tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Much
so much.
needed
It's a great
information.
class.
Thank you.
Thank you, admin team. You did a great job. Y'all awesome.
ATT.
So much. Hey, family. Love y'all.
Love
Athenia,
y'all.
you look so wonderful too, Mama. So glad to see you. Y'all have a
Everybody,
wonderful
thank
day.
Wonderful day.
Peace and blessing, family. Love y'all.
Enjoy your